All right, hey guys, Jason here. We're up here at Franklin GMC here, the GMC Chevy dealer in Statesboro, Georgia. We're on the used car side over here, used car department, and we are taking a look at something here. We're going to talk about a beater with a heater. Okay, now this obviously is not a beater, but this concept is the same because this is where this is going to go. So, and you got to just hear me out for a minute, but we've heard the term forever, beater with a heater. Okay, I'm from Michigan, and that was what we always thought of. That was the, you know, the cheap $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 cars that you bought to get you through because you had a nice car truck you didn't want to drive in the wintertime with all the salt and stuff. So you parked your Mustang and your Corvette and your Camaro and your things like that, or your really nice truck, and in the wintertime you drove the beater with a heater. Okay, just a beater truck that you didn't care about. It was bought cheap and it just gets you from point A to point B, and as long as the heat works, you don't care about nothing else. A beater with a heater. And well, this is a perfect example of that today. If you're looking for a beater with a heater, again, this is not a cheap truck. I'm not knocking this truck and saying that there, but what I'm getting at is this could lead into it. This has got only 20,000 miles on it, but now what I'm getting at is if you are gonna buy a beater truck today, you want to make sure you buy the right one. What is the advantages to having something like that over having something that's brand nice and new? Understand that owning a truck that's used, that's got a few years on it, that's been beat up a little bit, that's got some scratches on it, the beauty is you don't care. You know, that's one thing that's nice, is you don't have to care about it. It can get a scratch, it can get a little ding in it, you can put a little dent in the bed, you just don't care. You're like, as long as it runs, as long as it does what I need to, I don't care, and it's gonna do that. But today, times are so different. You can't just go buy any truck. I mean, if you think for a second that one of these Silverados or one of the Tundras or one of the F-150s, if you think this is gonna be something that's gonna turn into a 10-year-old beater with a heater, you bumped your head. Okay, the prices are astronomical, the repair costs are crazy, they got too many issues that go wrong with them, things that happen, things that, you know, it's ugly how the world is today. But if you buy something like this, if you were to grab something like this could turn into a beater with a heater, and it would make it. Why would it make it? Because it's built tough as nails. It's got that amazing 3.5. This is four-wheel drive. It's a very simple system. Everything about it is very tech-free, very functional, very capable. The most advanced thing in this thing is basically right here, which is your touchscreen for your keyless lock that Toyota offered, okay, which is a cool feature. But this is a 23 Tacoma. This is a great truck, and it's not cheap either. But this is the kind of truck, even let's say that it was a 2016, and it had 150,000 miles on it. Let's just, because again, it would look the same, it wouldn't look any different. But if it was a 2016 with 120,000 or 150,000 miles on it, and you could get it for $10,000, guess what it becomes? A beater with a heater. Guess what it does? It lasts for another 10 years. It becomes an excellent buy. And it becomes a truck that you don't have to wash every day. You're not afraid to take it on a dirt road. You're not afraid if you get it scratched up a little bit. You're not afraid to take it in the woods to go find some remote fishing spot. You're not afraid of nothing. It just does its job, and it does it well, and you don't worry about it. There's a lot to be said for that. There's a lot of power in that. I once bought a triple-tuned Sylvan pontoon boat, and I had a custom-built trailer for these RPT tunes that were on it, and it had 150 horse Merc on this thing. It was a sweet boat. All in, I was like $40,000 for the boat, the trailer, the whole setup, to everything about it. I loved it, until I realized that I have to maintain it. So I was always like, polish all the, or, you know, clean all the leather that was in this thing and all the marine grade vinyl and make it spotless, and wax everything all the time and keep everything spotless, and fighting all the time to keep rats from getting into it in my yard, and cover it and uncover it every single time I used it. And it was exhausting to deal with. I sold it after a year and a half. I'm like, I hate taking care of this thing, and I hate worrying about it. A beater with a heater, you don't worry about it. You don't care. You don't nothing. I don't have a scratch on my Power Wagon yet. I know when I get one, it's going to piss me off. Okay, I don't have a ding or anything like that. And I know when I get one, I'm going to get pissed off. When you have a beater with a heater, you don't care. And if you're going to buy a beater with a heater, you buy the right truck. Okay, that is the key. If you want today for one to work that's not going to nickel and dime you and crush you financially, you need to make sure you get the right one. This Tacoma, third gen Tacoma, is a perfect example. Second gen Tacoma, a perfect example. These are trucks that are built to run for many, many miles. 4Runner. You know how many 4Runners you can buy out there for $10,000? Okay, that are just gonna keep going and going and going and keep going like the Energizer Bunny. These older Toyotas, they're phenomenal for that. The older Frontiers, the Nissan Frontiers, fantastic. The Jeeps, look at how many TJs and stuff like that, and early, you know, even the JKs that you can get for that kind of stuff, and you can do it right on. Okay, they're gonna work out great for you, and they're great trucks. You know, these are things that can last. Not only can they last, they're easy to repair. That is the whole point of this. It is a vehicle that you don't care about, you don't worry about, and it just works, and it works great for you. Tell you another one too that's always been good. Now the older Silverados, you get past, you go back, you know, 10-year-old Silverados, excellent truck. A 10-year-old or 12-year-old F-150, especially with a 5-liter, or you get into the 5.4s even, amazing trucks, okay? They were absolutely phenomenal. So imagine this right here is a 2009 F-150. You are talking about an incredible truck that will last a very, very long time. Technically priced as a beater with a heater, and it's going to do the job in today's world, in today's numbers. Not that I'm saying it's not expensive still, but that is our world of beater with a heater today, is that, you know, in that 10 grand range. There's not a lot you can buy for $10,000. When you get these though, like I said, if you're shopping right and you buy the right brand and the right truck and you get it the right way, now usually a car lot is not where you're going to buy that. You got to check the Carfax. You got to dive into these things. You have to look at it. You want, you know, if you're buying something that was an enterprise rental car and then it's had 4 more owners since then, that's probably going to be kind of a red flag. You find one that was owned by one person and he had it the whole entire time and you owned it for 12 straight years, and then you buy that one, now you got a gold mine. And you look at his meticulous maintenance records, even if they're only the ones that are showing up recently from the dealer services, they didn't do this, all that stuff 12 years ago. They do now, and you see it's still changing oil every 5,000 miles. You got yourself an incredible deal on a truck that will last for a very long time, cost you very minimal money, and you don't have to worry about it. Here's another one right here. God, look at this thing, okay? Love these Canyons in the Colorado equivalent, okay? What year is this? This is 2022, okay, but these good. I think this gen goes back to 2016, I think. 2016, so that was almost 10 years ago. And again, a rock solid, super good truck, built well, does its job well, fantastic, 3.6 liter, perfect motor in it, V6 that could hold its own against anything. And again, if you got one that's 10 years old, even 9 years old, you could get them for a stupid good price, and it can last for a very long time where you don't worry about it. It's already all marred up back here, scratched up. You can see all the dents and see, it's already been kind of put through the ringer a little bit. Look at this. You don't care anymore. Okay, you don't care. You know, this one's got, you know, a couple scratches on it, not too horrible, but and they obviously clean some stuff up on here, but it's the kind of truck that you can get, and you, if you want to wash it and you want to be proud of it and you want to enjoy it, you can definitely do that. But on the same note, you could buy it and just run it and run the crap out of it, and when something does break or fails, it's not too hard to fix, not too much to fix. If somebody slams a shopping cart and it hits it and puts a little ding in your door right here, you're not crying and freaking out and running to the dealership that day and arguing with the dealership about how your spray painted paint versus the factory baked paint and all this kind of stuff. See what I'm getting at? See what I'm getting at? Simpler in design. Okay, you're not too concerned about that kind of stuff. So the whole beater with a heater concept is legit, and it's real. And it means that it is a stress-free, not worrying about things, and a lot of people live their life that way, and I don't think it's a bad way to be at all. Another example of one right here. This could be also, now TRD Sports, the same exact truck, 2021, 27,000 miles on it. But imagine this, because they probably want like $28,000 for this, I'm guessing, just ballparking. But realistically, it would look exactly the same if it was a 2016 with 140,000 miles on it and a price tag of $8,800. Maybe a little more, little scratched up or something, but you see what I'm getting at. Still got the same kind of bulletproof reliability and that capability. So if you're looking for a beater with a heater, and you're looking for a truck that you don't have to care about or worry about, in today's market, you better search for the right one so that you're not getting something that is going to cost you a fortune to deal with later. Stick with proven reliability, proven stuff that's been out there, and they're affordable, and they're workable, and they'll last for hundreds of thousands of miles. Questions, comments, put them below. Thanks for watching.